PUBG players look absolutely on fire. On an individual level, I'm not sure there's another team in the tournament with as many players at that kind of caliber, which is bonkers. I mean, everybody was expecting that from probably more like the Americas teams or the EMEA teams.
Yeah, but I think that we're happy to see it, especially after yesterday and the way that they defeated Sentinels. They definitely knew exactly what to do in every instance and could read into their opponent very well. I think that we should give more props to Solo.
Yeah, now I know we've all been theorizing about, you know, the script, where it comes from. I know you and Brent in bracketology. I think John Riot's name has been thrown in there a couple of times as well, but I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to look behind the curtain, because today, and for today only, we are going to bring out the Masters Magic 8 wheel. We're going to give it a spin, and we're going to be able to answer questions that all of our hearts truly, truly desire. So let's just get it started, Josh. I'm going to let you have your first question.
Okay, my first question, an important one, not just for this tournament, but will, in the entire history of Valorant, Pacific ever win a trophy? Please! How have they not done it already? All of the Pacific analysts.
That's a big spin.
All of the Pacific analysts just on edge here. Remember, this is the truth.
Here we go.
Pacific ever win a trophy?
Oh! Massive win there!
No guarantee it's right here, but
ever. At some point
after today, we can see if it's actually here.
Yeah, I mean, the wheel has spoken, so let's see, Tom, what your question is going to be answered.
Oh, mine's a little bit more toxic, I feel. I said, did Loud underperform?
You want to make some enemies, don't you?
No, I'm not making enemies. The wheel is making enemies.
It's a limp roll, by the way.
Yeah.
Limp roll.
Here we go.
Oh, you're kidding me.
There
you go.
Exactly.
It's an America's wheel right now.
Exactly.
It was like the audacity of Tom to even ask that.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Bea, surely you're going to bring us back with a better
That was
question.
their best performance.
Are you instigating here?
I might be. My question is going to be, will EMEA make global playoffs ever again?
Oh my god. Wheel, please, wheel. I don't ask for much in life.
I'm so scared.
Oh
That's
god.
so doomer.
I can't
That is
watch. I can't look.
I'm so scared.
I can't look. Oh, don't.
Please give me a slay.
Please.
Oh no! We're done. We're doomed.
Why would you do it?
I can't believe
you
it.
write the script, right?
Why
It's
would
your
you
fault.
even do that? I mean, you've killed Yinsu. You killed Yinsu.
I can't go on.
This was going so
Can't
well.
go on.
Three of us have just lost our jobs.
Oh,
What's the
God.
point anymore?
That's unlucky.
Okay, I'm just gonna do an easy one for the wheel. Okay, nobody has to be heartbroken in this one. Should we buy the Sentinels bundle? Should we actually do it?
Okay.
Go on.
That's got to be a sleigh.
Come on. Should we do it? I mean, now I don't have a region. Can I be adopted by Americas?
I'm sure they'd be lucky to have you.
The tension.
Here we go.
I'm nervous.
Okay.
Here we go.
Better not say.
Yeah, that's Zelsa's job. We don't want to steal his job.
Okay.
Great point.
You got to leave it for him.
Yeah, I think we have talked a bit too much about it anyway, so.
Yeah.
Has any of you bought the Sentinels bundle?
I don't care.
No
I don't
comment.
care. I don't care about the Sentinels bundle. What I'm looking for today is the Sentinels bungle. I want to see PRX move on to the final.
Okay, well, that's what you think, but I want to know what you guys think at home in our MasterCard fan poll. It's very simple. Who is moving on to the grand finals tomorrow to face Genji? Will it be Sentinels, like Sideshow has said, or will it be PRX, because the wheel said? So scan the QR code on your screen and cast your vote right now, and make sure you use the hashtags Valorant Masters and VCT so we can feature you on the show. If you have a question for the wheel, hey, let us know. We might bring it out and give it another whirl as the games go on, but for now, let's move on to this huge match at hand, because the reason these two teams, Sideshow, even got to where they are right now is because they... Will it be Sentinels, like Sideshow?
Two core concepts, right, to be able to beat these teams. One is anticipation, and the other's outpacing your opponent. And I think they anticipated everything that PRX was going to do, so they were always ahead of them, and they outpaced Sentinels horribly. They were always making decisions quicker than Sentinels could.
I think their reads as well were unbelievable, especially if you look at Split. The Sentinels, they're the best team in the world, and then they went up against them, and every single time they were walking into an empty site, forcing Sentinels to retake, which Sentinels are good at. but not against Gen G.
It would be so crazy because tomorrow they have the chance of winning this entire tournament without dropping a match. And to me, it's back to what we were talking about yesterday on the show. This is like they're like a motivational quote. It's like work hard, do it in silence, and then show off the results.
Yeah, for Sentinels as well. Tekken, Tens, and Zekken, they've been unstoppable the entire. It's gonna happen. Tekken is here to stay.
All right.
But Tom, what happened against Gen G?
I don't know. Especially on 10s, it looked like a different beast, but I even just feel like the impact that Zekken had was just missing. He was someone who was pretty much destroying the majority of opponents throughout the tournament so far.
I'll tell you what happened. Gen G's players are just better. Man, there was so many spots where they got into good positions to fight, and they just got outclassed. Tens and Zekken are unbelievable players, but the players they're going up against today, we've seen Forsaken take over. We've seen something take over. You need to be getting this level of impact out of the guys, and it's all good having a game plan that sets you up for success. At the end of the day, you still got to click their heads, right?
Yeah, definitely. They need to forget about what happened against Gen G. There were also so many instances where they would go down first just because of being in positions that only Gen G was able to punish. Now, will PRX as the other Pacific team be on the same level? Well, we'll see.
Well, especially if we're going to be seeing Split, which I think we will. We have seen Forsaken actually take over that map in crazy manners. I don't know if he'll be able to get those aces up. I know we talked about that earlier in the tournament, but even something has started to come alive as well. So, yeah, I think they're going to need those superstars on the Sentinel side.
Dude, look at that one.
Is ridiculous.
They flash peek Second in and Meteor just dodges it and gets the kill.
No respect.
I mean, we heard Tens in that press conference talk about the drop in performance, and he said it just felt like every time I was swinging Gen G, I was swinging into 3 people.
He wasn't that time.
I think he's putting too much on himself. I do think that it was more on the Gen G side, having the correct read and actually knowing how to activate themselves against Sentinels.
I mean, if he swings into 3 PRX players, how are we feeling about
There's never 3 PRX players in one place. They're always scattered across the map, so I think it'll be okay.
I mean, we'll see. But also, we have heard a lot from our coaches here in Madrid as well. But are we buying what they are selling? It's time for Kaplan or Cap. Of course, I'm going to give you guys a couple of quotes, starting with the man Kaplan as well. I want you to tell me if you're buying into what you're saying. Is it Kaplan, or do you feel like maybe it's a little
That
bit
cap fits really well, by the way.
as well. So let's start with the first quote here. He said, lots to learn, wish we didn't make the mistakes in the first place, but it is what it is. I take full responsibility. We will be better. Sideshow, Kaplan or Cap?
A little bit of both. I mean, he's probably referring to the fact that they had a game plan on Breeze that fell to pieces. I would say, you know, you want to get rid of that today. But I think this is kind of a lie, but the good kind of lie that helps your team's confidence.
See, I'm going full Cap. I'll be honest with you, I think it's full Cap. It's the classic coach scenario after a match where you go, guys, it was all me. Let's ignore the fact that Tens had a bad performance today. No, it was me. It was because I picked the wrong
those are the good kind of
out.
lies. You bear the brunt.
It's a good lie, but it's still Cap.
Hear me out. I think it's Kaplan. I think that he wants to give his players the chance to forget about what happened and just put everything on him so they can keep performing on this tournament, making the finals and getting that trophy.
Fair.
So it is Kaplan.
Okay, we got 2 Kaplans and 1 Cap. I feel like you're out.
Well, he was a bit in the middle.
He's on the fence, though. What's the point?
There's a little bit of both there. There's Kaplan with the cap on. That's
he's doing what a coach needs to do in this situation, I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's very end, right? He even tweeted back in the EMEA as well. It's all me, it's all me. Every loss is on me and every win is on the players. But let's move on to the side of PRX. Again, with Coach Alex, is this going to be Kaplan or is this going to be Cap? He said there's a lot of hesitation right now in the way we play, and that actually hurt us. I think any team to be consistent, you need to be first and foremost very confident in the way you play. Kakuka, is this Cap or Alex?
I think this is Cap. I think that if you're PRX, with how much experience you have in international events, you have such a defined playstyle that everybody's able to recognize, you should be confident in it by now. And if that is the reason that you're not performing, maybe you're looking in the wrong spot to spot what's going wrong.
I think for the time that quote is taken from, a little earlier in the tournament, he was bang on. There was a bit more hesitation. It didn't look as fluid. But now that they've got Moniette super diving in on Raze and everybody's following up, it's not just Forsaken acing to win them rounds.
Yeah.
They've actually got systems that are working. Some things' timings were fantastic when he played against Loud. Their read on the game is way better than it was at the start. So I think to some degree he was analyzing the issues correctly. The problem with all of that is, how do you fix a hesitation problem? How do you give your players more confidence?
I was going to say, I think it's 80% Cap, because I think at the beginning of the tournament, 4 of the 5 players didn't have any hesitation. They were still doing ridiculously aggressive things, but Moniette was hesitant. So he's the little 20% wiggle room I'll give. But now I don't don't think that's been the case, especially in their last match. I didn't see any hesitation whatsoever.
Yeah.
So we agreements? Cap.
Well, he's a Kaplan, but we're in the Cap.
You're okay. You're different
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
You're different again.
What can I say? I believe authority.
But
You tell me something, I believe it.
But the thing is, what do you, in terms of it being Cap, what do you want him to say though? What is it that you want to hear from him when it comes to Alex?
I'd say it's...
I mean, what I'd like to see is him to not dwell on the fact that he can't figure out the solution immediately. I feel like a lot of what we've heard from Alex is, I know that we have problems, but there are so many different ways that we could fix things. I don't know what it is, but the players are already figuring it out live in the server. You see them doing it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you want to put your time and your energy into something, I feel like that is such a broad term. Just him?
Just something.
Okay. Yeah, just something. Okay. Let's just get something
Tom trolling you.
something that can play better with the operator. Yeah, it's difficult now.
All right,
Thank you, Tom.
We've talked about Cap, we've talked about Kaplan, but let's hear from the man, Kaplan. Or Cap, I don't know, because Mika Fabs is standing by with what I think is Coach Kaplan right now to see how he is feeling today.
Hey Kaplan, so that was a really tough loss yesterday. Can you tell us how you managed to prep the boys for a comeback today?
Yeah, so yesterday one of the biggest problems was that we started really kind of shaky and nervous and therefore didn't play our game. So after some thought, I've concluded there wasn't enough pressure on them, so I'm adding a lot more. I've told them if we lose today, they have to swim home. And just to double down on the pressure, I'm going to pick Breeze, I think.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Wait. That's
All right. Is that Cap or Kaplan?
Well, that was Kaplan. I just saw it.
Yeah, it's also completely true. I've seen the Google Maps swim route home.
How long does it take?
They're not going to make
Swimming.
it. I'm afraid they're not going to make it.
It's a bit far.
Do they have that? How long does
They
it take by swim?
They should if it
I think the original thing that Kaplan said, that they came in nervous, I actually think they didn't look themselves in terms of how confident they were swinging and taking those fights at the start on split. So I'd like to see them get into the groove of this match really early on. They talked about how Zelsis is so important for the vibes and stuff. I think he got rattled a little bit yesterday, whether or not he would admit it.
I'm saying it's Cap. I think that it got to their heads the fact that Split was so one-sided on the side of Gen G that after that map, they were out.
What about the
mentally.
Breeze, though? You think that's Cap? They're going to pick Breeze?
Yes.
What they might
Yes,
do, because
that's-
technically down the line, if they just don't ban it, then they might end up picking it, just because it's a best of 5.
Might be Kaplan. Might be Kaplan.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but it might be.
All right, let's move on to PRX, because for them in this tournament, every single time we've spoken to them, they've done this little rating thing. You know, Forsaken said we're 6 out of 10 coming into this tournament, and then you had Devai yesterday. He hit us with a 10 out of 10. So I wanted to put you guys to the test. Let's, as a desk, rate some of what PRX have been up to. So I see you have your whiteboards here. Show me the numbers. Show me the numbers.
You want them numbers?
Oh! All right, an 8, a 2, and a... All right, okay. Kukuka, what is it about PRX that's giving you a 2 right
Hear me out. I just focused on one thing. You know, I just focused on one aspect. You know, what makes PRX PRX? The crazy compositions and the crazy playstyle of being extra aggressive. Then I just focus on the compositions that they have been playing here. I just picked out some of them because there are so many crazy things. Just looking at the Ascent, no Sova, no Jet, no Sentinel. The way they make it play is something goes and makes it play with the operator. They apply a lot of pressure with that. I think it's very easy to counter, and I think that Sentinels might have a very good read on that. For the bind, I feel like I have a problem with something, but I don't really have it. It's the Reyna. I've seen it a couple of times. I'm not sold by it. I really like the Harbor, but and then the Split. You come in, I thought that we were going to get that triple duelist action. I feel like they're very unsure in why they're choosing these compositions, and now it is too late to make the changes. So I was adding points for creativity, and then they were going down as I was getting like the rain and all that.
They won those, so how's only a 2?
Yeah,
But
ridiculous.
because it could be better. I want more.
Top
I'm a
3
paper
team,
girl.
2 out of 10.
Are we in agreement in terms of the comps,
No.
at least? It's a 2.
No.
Oh,
No?
what are you
Okay.
rating for?
I'll give them at
10.
least a 3.
I think that you need them to play some bizarre stuff when it comes to their compositions, and I think that they've actually started working.
So you're a big Reyna fan?
I think it's a bit the rain.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna 3-0 today. We're playing Reyna and Gecko
All right,
off.
what number then?
Crazy.
What number are you giving
All right.
for the comps? For the comps?
for the comps, I don't know, maybe like a 6 or 7 or something.
Okay,
like that.
Drop my
Like,
5.
Dude, I'm down for them. But the thing that I'm rating the 8 here is the improvement that they've made over the course of the tournament. If they were a 6 out of 10 earlier when they were playing against EDG,
Oh, you've
when they were
added the 2.
struggling, when they were losing, exactly. I've added on the 2 from your compositions, and we've got to 8. Because I feel like at the start of the tournament, they were a little out of sync. They couldn't really get Monyet online, and they hadn't had enough time, I think, playing the compositions that Alex wanted them to go towards heading into Madrid. And then you see them towards the end of the tournament here. They're making risks, they're finding timings, their read on the game is really good, and they're playing off each other. Look at them baiting Devi in this situation, forcing mistakes out of opponents, getting Mind Freak into the clutch. We haven't seen this kind of stuff happening from them until the end of the tournament. They're getting in their groove. It's an 8 compared to last year.
Do you agree? Are we bumping it to an 8 for that?
I do. The development has definitely been there within the tournament, but I think it's also what we expected from PRX. I'll give them the 8.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're all right. I mean,
they're not at 10 yet.
it's a good thing that you said they're all right, because the 5 feels like
It's a very
Middle
meh.
ground.
Actually sounds like just on the right.
Do you know what? I've got my leather jacket on. It makes me a vibes man. That's what I'm looking at right now. And I think the vibes for 5 of the players, or 5 of the people, have been very, very good. Laughing, joking, having a great time. No desk slamming for 5 of the people. Now, there is one other person on this team, which I think is a 1 out of 10, and it's this man on your screen right now. Alex has been getting a little bit frustrated. I'd say maybe even more so than what we've seen before. So it puts me bang in the middle, Sue.
Do you guys
I
agree?
did slam the desk a couple times, but it was like excitement. It was like a good
Yeah,
slam.
it was a good slam.
The duality of it as well, because Alex is such a fun guy. He's always smiling. You would find him, he would be the happiest on earth. It's the coach booth. I'm saying that's
It's just
the
the room.
vibe.
He just
That's
gets
the
in
vibe,
and he's
Bruno.
grumpy.
To be fair, we've seen Chet in the dungeons before, and he's not been loving it.
It's crazy how Alex is thinking about this team when they're winning and they're top 3 at a Masters currently with chances of making their 3rd final. And he's like, I'm really unhappy with the way that we're playing, actually. It's all individual skill. None of the synergy that we've built up. And it's like, they're winning. They're winning.
It's crazy because he has those kind of reactions even in the rounds that they win.
Yeah.
We will go to coach and be like, God, it's not the pick that we were supposed to do.
Hey, that was quite a good pen slam.
But I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
he never delivers it to the players. That's something
Yeah.
that's very
Yes.
important, articulating when he's in interviews. He knows when to communicate and how to communicate to the players to get the best out of them, and he doesn't bring any of that frustration or anger with him into the comms. Tries to keep it good and positive for the players, and you can see that that's where that differential comes from. You're talking about, Tom. He doesn't bleed it into dragging the whole
He
team.
takes
like
it out on the desk, so he doesn't take it out on the players.
Yes.
That's why we've had to reinforce the desk.
Okay, we'll just do a very quick, I guess, a rating, a combined rating. Are we taking an average? Are we adding everything together?
10.
What are they right now?
But that means I'm correct.
Well,
about-
if 10 was how they played last year, though, where they made, 2 big final, or 1 big final, I suppose, and made it deep in tournaments, they're not that far away at the moment, in my opinion.
I'd give them a 7.5.
I was going to say, I'm not kidding, I was going to say
All right,
7.5.
7.5 out of 10 it is. But for more on PRX, let's send it back to Mika Fabs and Monya for some vibe check.
Hey Monyet, what's up? You feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good.
Okay, good, because like everybody loves, loves it when PRX are like feeling great and they love the PRX vibes. Can you tell us though, you guys have been staying quite humble. Tell us how the team is feeling today, especially since now you have made it into the top 3 here at Masters Madrid.
Definitely unexpected, but I think every time, like when we go to lower bracket, we just felt like more no fear, So yeah, we'll see today.
Eager to see that fearlessness on stage. Good luck.
I mean, the vibe seems good. Vibe seems like it is there. What did you guys make of that?
Well, Alex isn't there.
He's such a hater, man.
Oh,
such
no.
a hater.
Monyet's
It's
got
crazy.
great vibes. He's adorable. Like, who doesn't love Monyet?
It has
Or
been
Monyet.
has been a lot of pressure on Monyet, though, this run that they've had. All of the eyes are on him, all of the public pressure's on him,
Totally.
and even the internal communications are that this is, Alex said, this has been the biggest roster change they've had. It's them getting Monyet up to speed. When you have the focus on you like that, yeah, the pressure's going to be enormous. And I've actually been really impressed at how he's stood up to the big pressure, to the stage, and found his moments. And when you play on PRX, you have to be so risk positive.
Yes.
You can't allow the fear to make you play in a safer manner. And he's just been great.
I think that we've seen it also in the past, right? Where I believe it was at Tokyo where we had CGRS and he was also stepping up and everybody had eyes on him.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned Tokyo because Mindfreak did as well in this tweet right after they beat Loud. He said, it's another miracle run by us, 2-0 Loud. Feels like Tokyo all over again. Now, I'm a little bit worried about the second part because, Tom, at Tokyo they had a sub. So I can understand why that was like a miracle.
Yeah. Is he? But does that mean he's calling Munya a sub? Because that's really toxic if that's the way you're looking at it. But I don't think he is. I think it's just that they've come out, they've not looked their best, but they're still beating teams that realistically, and each time we're going, oh, they probably lose to Loud now, right? Oh, they probably lose to this team, and they're just managing to continue their run through the tournament. And at this point, you're getting to the stage where you get that PRX delusion where you go, they might just win.
But that's the thing, it's always a might, right? And it's actually when we get this late into a tournament, when we get to those best of fives, that is when PRX just falls down, when they crumble under the pressure, because they have been unsuccessful in winning a single best of five here in international events.
Oh, don't remind me. Don't remind me.
I mean, if it's going to be like Tokyo all over again, I really hope it's not.
But they have to finish second. Only one of them can be true.
That is true. The narratives, there's too many narratives going on, I feel like. How worried are you about that, though? The fact that every time they've got to that best of five position, it's just never gone their way.
Well, you have to remember that best of fives only happen when you play against the top teams. You don't play best of fives at the beginning of the tournament where you're really heavy favorites against the people you play against. So it's not just BO5s. They do have some map pool weaknesses, but it's also because their opponents are great.
Yeah, well, I believe in PRX. What a shocker. But it's time to get the results of our MasterCard fan poll and see if you guys believe in PRX, because yes, you do! Let's go! Paper people, rise up! Nice. Yeah, anyway, what did you guys think of this?
you just lost your mind.
Paper people rise up.
Yeah. They're my paper people at, you know? I can't believe they beat Sentinels in a poll.
Yeah.
Time of day.
Big deal.
Yeah, possibly, something like that.
No, it's just they're right. They're just right.
I think that going back to what you were saying earlier about DRX, you know, we've mentioned so much the fact that the usual suspects are not here, that this has to be the time that PRX manages to finally win a title.
Yeah, but I think that the opposition they're playing against is extremely tough. I think SEN have probably got an advantage in the map pool department if you're looking at what they're going to be running into. And when PRX win, it feels like it's late in the maps. It feels like it's based on a lot of individual stuff and hard reads. I'm not sure how consistent it's going to be.
I mean, there's one thing that's more important than this lower final, more important arguably than the entire final as well, which is the Classics kill leaderboard.
It is.
For one man it is, and his name is Zelsis. If you take a look at this, Tom, Zelsis has officially taken over Moniet, and he's up there with 20 kills.
Does that just mean he got a lot of classic kills in the game that they lost?
Yes.
Is that because they
Yeah, because they were ecoed so much. Yeah, they ecoed so much they don't even buy sheriffs, and you know, he always takes his moments to like show the bundle.
Oh,
taking a real win.
I mean, he takes moments to show off more than the bundle, doesn't he? He's showing off the bundle.
He said the what?
Okay.
The what?
John, should we slow that down?
Yeah,
what did you say?
He's flashing his ass around. That's what's happening. Am I unclear? Am I unclear that Zelsis is caked up and takes every opportunity?
All right, then. Cool.
Oh my God. Yeah, so next the leaderboard for the... no, I'm kidding. We don't have a leaderboard for that. But what we do have, of course, is the map vetoes. This will be a best of 5. So let's send it down to Victoria and the coaches and see where we're going to be heading in today.
All right, welcome to Map Select presented by Omen for the lower finals. This is where we are transitioning to a best of 5. Sentinels, you come from the upper bracket, so you'll be higher seed. Would you like Team A or Team B?
Team A, please.
Team A, so PRX, you will be Team B. And we will start with your first ban.
Ban Breeze.
Breeze, and your ban?
Ban Icebox.
Ban Icebox. So map number 1 from Sentinels.
Pick Lotus.
Lotus, side on Lotus.
Attack.
Attack. And map number 2.
Pick Ascent.
Ascent, and side on Ascent.
Defense.
Defense. Map number 3. You have Bind, Split, and Sunset.
Pick Split.
Pick Split. Side on Split.
Pick Defense.
Defense. And then map number 4, you have Bind and Sunset.
Sunset.
Okay. And side on Sunset.
Defense.
Okay. Map number 5 by default is going to be Bind, PRX, side on Bind.
Attack.
Attack. All right. Good luck to you both.
Thanks. Good luck, man.
Well, Kaplan was capping because, Tom, they banned the breeze. They're not going to let it through.
Yeah, I don't think it's their ban that I'm really that interested in. I think I'm a little bit more worried about what PRX have done, because I feel like they had a real opportunity to take away a decent map for Sentinels rather than banning a map that they both don't really play. And so I feel like the map pool now leads almost even further into Sentinels' favor.
Yeah, I totally agree. Also, the Lotus with the composition that PRX play, I think that is very easy to exploit and very easy to be prepared to.
Yeah, I think that when you look at the map pool, one of the big things that stands out that everybody's talking about too is that when Sentinels play Jet, they're 1 and 7 on those maps.
Yeah.
And 2 of those have just been removed, 1 by their opponent. And it's not because Zekken's a terrible player, it's because those are the maps, in my opinion, that they put the least time into, and they just happen to also be the Jet maps. But this is looking good for Sen.
Yeah, is it looking like we could go the distance? And if we do go the distance, does it get better for PRX?
I think
How do you know? We've barely seen either team play Bind. I think Sen only played it once against Heretics.
But that's the thing, are we even going to get to Bind? Also talking about the form and how the teams are going to come onto the stage. Yesterday, Devi was telling me in the interview that they feel like their compositions being so unique and people having so many bots on them, they're easy to counter. So they also acknowledge that kind of flaw in themselves.
I do think getting into the late game, though, like if they can perform well on Split, and also then Sunset has been a fantastic map for PRX. I think Bind ends as sort of like a toss-up at the end, so I think if PRX get that far, I actually do think they have a very good chance to take it.
I also think that the way that they play on Ascent is difficult to play against. Yeah. And it's not been a great map for Sentinels overall. They don't look like the best team out there. So it is super possible you could get a 2-1 lead, actually, for PRX to start the series.
No, I think that actually Ascent, before coming into the tournament, I think that Gen.G showed when they played against each other how, not easy, but how you can counter them. I think that something is going to be always one of the questions. How are they going to be shutting down his operator on the Gecko, on whatever he's playing? That is one of the big questions. If they're able to deal with that, and some of the positions that they take at the beginning of the rounds, especially on Ascent, I think that Sentinels have a good edge to win here.
Loud and KC, though, both struggled on Ascent against PRX. It's not easy, I don't think.
Yeah, I think at this point, though, the one thing that does worry me for them is just the tape that they have on it, because they play sort of a lot of compositions, especially in that last match for PRX, where I'm looking at them and going, it is the individuals that are now winning that for you. And if you've given that little bit of extra time to Kaplan to kind of look through and go, okay, they're doing these crazy aggressive defensive side pushes, how can we shut that down? Can we play our default properly? And can we almost wait for them? Because the team that managed to beat Sentinels was the really structured team. PRX are not that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that Sen needs to go back and just think about the positives that they have. And also before coming into the tournament, I think that their retakes are so beautiful, and it's going to be one of the determinant keys for today if they're able to just maybe give PRX that space and no fall into their game.
Can they do it? Can PRX pull off the Tokyo Miracle, I guess is what they're calling it. So do you guys believe in that?
Yeah, they absolutely can. They
Isn't
totally
the Tokyo Miracle them losing now?
No, wait, yes. Copenhagen. And champions.
There's a bad choice.
Yes.
They totally can. It's about getting big performances out of individuals and coming up with combos and pace that is going to outperform what Sentinels are anticipating. Gen.G were faster than Sen. PRX could do it too.
Yeah, well, it's time to get this best-of-5 series started. Sentinels versus PRX, where the winner will take on Gen.G tomorrow in the grand finals. The Masters Madrid lower bracket final starts right here, right now.
Welcome to Masters Madrid, coming at you live from the Madrid Arena.
Where are you from? I'm from California. I'm studying at Virginia Tech right now. I'm the head of my Valorant team program.
I'm from Ireland. I traveled here yesterday.
What are your predictions for this tournament? Who's going to make it?
Well, actually, I think Wingman for MVP, honestly.
my parents were visiting Europe, and so I was like, hey, let's go to Madrid, let's go see the games. And
You guys want to come in? You guys want to cheer with him? Come in. Woo!
Go Sentinels!
Are you from Spain or did you travel to be here?
I traveled here from Germany yesterday.
Do you have any predictions for the finals of the tournament?
Oh my god. Like in my head I won PRX because they're my favorite Pacific team and I've been supporting them since last year since they have such a great run.
But the crossfire setup is too strong, it's too damn strong, and PRX seal it away. What a time, what a game to come alive.
Man, I don't even expect how we're here. I thought we already going back after the Carmen Corp win, you know? We felt depressed. Somehow we still managed to win.
The time is running out, and now it's gone as Gen G 13-3 Sentinels.
We're going to be playing against PRX. They've been here before. It will not be an easy series. They play very aggressive. They don't really care about advantages. They like playing their way. I would like to think that we could punish it. We just have to come in and play more together as a team.
Sentinels, this time we will have zero fear. We just beat Loud, and now we're beating the Americas.
We're not out yet. We're coming for you.
What do we want to say to the fans?
Thank you guys so much for supporting us throughout this whole run. It's been a wild past few months, honestly, even just this tournament and the off season and kickoff leading up to it. It's been a crazy ride.
I know that previous years has been kind of rough as a Sentinels fan, but it's looking up. I'm feeling confident. My team's feeling confident.
Couldn't have done it without your support. Thank you so much.
I hope you guys keep supporting us. I mean, I know some of you don't believe in our new W Gaming, but I hope you guys just keep trusting us. We're trying our best, and I hope we show a good performance, you know. And yeah, spread love. Hopefully we win. And I kind of want to beat Sentinel, you know? So yeah. Zelsis, we are coming for you.
Awesome. Let's go.
Bienvenidos a Madrid. Eso no.
Sentinels.
No confiaron, pero míralo. Llego con los míos y la grada explota. Le di la razón al que me quiso ver bien. Lo soñé en mi habitación y ahora en primera me ven. No te hablo del avión. Vine por mi cinturón.
PRX.
No confiaron, pero míralo.
Of challenges just to get here, but none of that matters. It is going to be about who can show up on this stage today and get into that grand finals tomorrow.
Yeah, two teams devoted to their fans, saying that most of what they do is because and thanks to them as well. The place is crowded just looking at what is going to be of these two teams.
Yeah, I think honestly, this first map could be almost a trendsetter. Like, I think it favors Sentinels heavily, but it's one of those scenarios where PRX get off the mark quickly. We could be seeing a dangerously quick series.
And I think the player to watch here is something. We're expecting him probably to be pulling out the Jet because that's one of the big compositions that they've been running on Lotus. It's unusual.
You're confident?
Well, who knows? Who knows? Something could be playing anything, right?
Yeah.
But if he is playing a role where he's able to have enormous impact and pulling out the operator, then he becomes the pivotal player in my head to have that impact and outweigh the compositional disadvantage that they've got.
Can Something's Jet go against Celsius Odin, Josh?
Not gonna
Can he
happen.
take it?
Dude, Celsius took a long time to get online in the game against Gen G. He was getting bullied in the first map. He woke up about halfway through Lotus. So I don't know. I feel like this Sentinels team has shown that they can be battled at this point, but you have to be immaculate, and Gen G is right now. I don't know whether PRX is going to be today.
That's the thing, going into this map in particular, you mentioned something. I think the duelist on the other side in Zekken, this is a map where he truly thrives. Like the space he's able to take, especially on their C-site executes, he's just devastating as he enters into the site. And Sassy's supportive utility is bang on almost every single time. That duo together in this map is going to be hard to beat.
You need to look at the reliable players. I think that Zekken is one of them, especially on this map. On the other side, how crazy is PRX going to be? We know that for the last matches that these teams have played, they've had shaky starts. Those pistol rounds sometimes do not go as planned. And if they do, maybe it's everything that they get in that half.
I'm going to be looking, assuming that we see Forsaken Cypher coming online. To refer back to your point, Tom, Zekken was unbelievable on those C-site entries. He was just amazing versus the game against Gen G. But if you've got trips to try to stop that, I'm wondering how that flavor works out. And it will be that classic composition from PRX with the double duelist and the Cypher. And it's actually more difficult to raise entry against that than the Killjoy.
Yeah, but the rest of the team is going to have such a much easier time. There's no Killjoy, there's no Viper. Like, you're going to have, you know, potentially a lot of freedom. That is where PRX has to respond fast. They have to move around the map, they have to put the pressure, and especially Mindfreak, he needs to be very mindful of that paranoia usage.
Yeah, and what is it, Tom, that makes Sentinels so good here? What are some of the difficulties PRX could run into?
I think firstly they're adaptive. As it was mentioned, I think Zelsa's playing like an Odin all over the map is always difficult when you're coming up against that defensive side. But I also think they are very good at that sort of push and pull of the map to get into those entries.
Well, I can't wait. We have two great teams on stage and two great casters on standby as well. Get ready for a certified banger. It's Pansy and Hypoc.
Thank you so much, Sue and the desk. Yeah, this is an exceptional head-to-head here, Mike. It's hard to split it. You look at the teams that they faced to get to this point, Neron mirrored. I mean, this is probably one of the most exciting best-of-5s we've had in a minute.
Yeah, definitely. I think former side, doubters aside, the fact that PRX are still here, still alive and kicking, still delivering, is such a testament to the potential, the talent on this roster. That's always been, it's been questions the whole way along. Things kicked off here on Lotus. PRX gonna make some progress towards A here. Zelsis, I'm not even sure actually if you got some information there, but backs away at the right time. Smoke coming through. We'll confirm some presence behind this. PRX just shift walking up.
Yeah, they're pretty close as well. Now, fortunately for Zelsis, he does have John QT nearby. Something is on the site. The blind didn't work well enough here to get past. Zelsis picking up where he left off. That classic looks good in his hands. Sassy in support. Devi, the last alive. And he's hunting. Zelsis just around that corner. Can Devi do anything here? Oh, absolutely not. Look at that pour on of utility. SEN off to a flawless beginning.
PRX just trying their luck, trying to walk up here, play contact up towards A, but again, that first exchange of utility, the snakebite coming down, something gets separated. Unfortunately, Zelsis adding another couple of kills to that classic leaderboard here. Unfortunately, beheads something Anmon, yet takes the bite right out of this execution. A flawless start here for Sentinels.
Could have talked about potentially that aspect of coming off the win or the loss to get to this point. Obviously, that Gen G matchup probably still fresh within the Sentinel mind, but again, coming back in off to a good start, correct all those wrongs, and back in that confident position. And a patient start here. You know who you're against is PRX. Gotta be careful, gotta be cautious. Tens, gonna be noted early. Still sticking around though.
Flash is perfect. Nade won't actually do any damage, but does force Tens back a little deeper. Something still desperate to try and find a pick here. He's burnt up the dash though, so he's gonna have to slow things down a little bit as we hit the minute mark. No real pressure point for PRX to try and exploit.
Does Tens go farming here? Very much in a position
Feels
for
like it.
Yeah, that smoke the only thing keeping PRX safe currently. Just about to dissipate, and he dips away. Zekken, though, still with eyes on, gonna now post the paranoia. Close enough to do some damage for Forsaken, though, unable to convert that to any form of kill. As Tens holds the line, giving Mindfreak something. And it was Devi still alive. Yeah, there we go. This is lovely stuff from Sentinels. 5 alive again. Not suffering a casualty yet.
Back-to-back flawless here will give Sentinels a massive cushion
Huge.
in terms of the funds here early on. Obviously coming to the next round with a little bit of a disadvantage in terms of the weaponry, but I mean, Sassy with a rifle, maybe an opportunity for him to get something done.
30 seconds left.
Sentinels carry this confidence across, maybe get a little proactive here.
Round to do it in.
Yep, maximize their chances of really trying to do some damage at least, but an honest go at this round 3.
Wondering if Sassy was going to send that out, maybe get some early info. Opts against it. Forsaken. No subtlety to his presence here. But
I'm
in
not
the
even sure
meantime,
actually if that was after the barrier job, sorry.
No,
whether or not the spy cam kind of called Sassy off that reveal, expecting a little bit of pressure towards B, potentially. PRX haven't really revealed themselves over towards Rubble just yet.
and nothing out of the ordinary really from Sentinels here either, kind of playing it rather standard, even with those Stinger Spectres and that Bulldog in the hands of Sassy. Sight now, pressured, something. Gonna be going first and actually overwhelmed, isolated again. These problems re-emerge, and what a chance for success now for Sen. Can't quite get the weapons, but they're in touching distance. And PRX down 2 players is a huge loss here.
Divide, looking for something, but Ten's actually slipping into drop here. He's gonna send the paranoia. Expecting too much of a push here, but Forsaken, the one to wrap this, will find Zelsis.
Trying to allocate some safety on the site, maybe get that plant a feasible option. They're gonna go for it now. Limited utility left on PRX. Sen, similar position, a touch here and there. You can hear it just going through from Sassy then. And they wait poised, flooding back into the side. Mindfreak, great pick up towards Zekken, but it's still dangerous. Still a man advantage to Sentinels here. Can they close that final gap, or can Divide dig in his heels? This could be huge from Mindfreak, but it's not clean on the first attempt with an opportunity. Sentinels still going. I was worried they were playing that traditional approach, and it still worked.
PRX sends something and Monye into the back lines once again, but this utility completely splits this execute up. Fortunately, it's the perfect time actually for John QT to find contact or at least be seen on Heaven. Plays in his teammate. And immediately then you see the flip all the way back into a passive hold. They want the time to run down, allow PRX to get themselves stabilized, and Sentinels capitalize on the numbers advantage. A very early timeout here, Lauren.
Yeah, this is incredibly early. Round
I mean, this has been a recurring trend as well. We've seen Alex burn up, timeouts in the first half by round 8, by round 9 almost.
It's just, what do they do with this? They've been able to creep close to sites. They've been getting right next to be able to get that plant down, but every single time they capitulate there.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 very, very clear examples of maybe a requirement to change this approach. Both Something and Monye not really finding any value, find themselves split in 2 rounds. Whether or not now Zelsis and John QT can play with that a little bit.
Oh yeah, subvert expectations now. They get to start enjoying themselves a little bit after such a robust start. I mean, 2 back-to-back flawless rounds, ridiculous.
And the round 3.
And the bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that again. It just kind of whips my mind back to that game that we saw against Gen G, where Sen looked completely out of it, which was wild to me, right? It felt completely out of character because these guys had been just on the money the whole way through. But the question does become, can PRX cause those same issues? So far, not been the case. Going to go for a touch of a purchase here, not too much weight behind it. 2 Stingers, Sheriffs, and that Bulldog in the hands of Mindfreak. But they need to make impact, Mike. As silly as that sounds, they just haven't quite been threatening enough yet.
Sure, and with 2 flawless rounds as well, Something very close to his ultimate. Monye, better progress, but still 3 away from the showstopper. Be crucial ultimates at a round like this, but PRX seemingly looking to push and prod a little more in this round. Try and bait a peek out somewhere across the map, but we have actually seen a big adjustment here on the defense. It's Tens to solo hold down Rubble. John QT and Zelsis now side by side once again. Zelsis done damage previously with this weapon. Looked fantastic with it.
He did, he really did. He made it work, looked comfortable, didn't look just it was very one-dimensional. Absolutely not. Something tries to get healed up. Second bite of the cherry, Zelsis is still gonna catch him. It's at least allowed a plant to come in. That's not bad, PRX will take that. But can they defend it? These walls feel like paper when that gun's in play. Zekken the one to find Monye here. When we look towards the rest, who's remaining? Forsaken, Divide, Mind Freak, desperately trying to hold on. Didn't quite get too affected by that. But that vice-like grip gets brought into play when 10 starts to play through by the door. The flood on the site, it's there on Flawless again. Mind Freak nowhere to go. And Sentinels looking genuinely flawless here, Mike.
Only one casualty on the way in. PRX a little bit of threat to this, but again, hesitancy to really dig any deeper. Try and convert that into any sort of comfort here. I mean, the amount of pressure that Zellsis is applying from inside this smoke.
Yeah.
Can't really blame PRX in this scenario.
Oh, come off it. Okay, at least there's a purchase now. We're going to see the rifles coming out. Hoping Forsaken gets that full buy-in here. Looking at the armor.
I'll find you.
Yeah, no armor on Forsaken. So that's a little bit of a problem.
Maybe just looking to play late here. Be the second layer to any sort of setup for something, but Zekken looking to get ahead of the curve. Caught by the paranoia. Showstopper sent out, but nothing on the other end of it.
No, just teetering on the edge of commitment there, but deciding against it. Monyet going to pick up another towards his ult. One off now. Very close by with a couple here. Devi, I think, 2 away. Nice to bring into effect, but a tangible pace change and a very near miss there. Tens gonna note the player, but didn't quite connect towards it. But again, PRX look a little lost on this one, or maybe not lost, but just adjusting their approach quite late in the round. 40 seconds. I don't know what they're expecting to come into towards that C site. We know that Zellsis will be present.
I don't know if they're expecting Zellsis to still be here. Not necessarily any clear indications of a difference in setup, but that'll be the confirmation for Zellsis at least. PRX still taking
Just
their
crossing
time
now,
here.
yeah. Zellsis so nearby, undiscovered. He could be such a problem for them. Not this time. Monyet denies it. Great pickup, perfect follow-up. Something answering back. That's Tens dealt with that. Zellsis gone. The first 2 responders to the site. And now the 3 trying to come back in are a little ways off. Zekken still alive, Sassy there, and John QT could still cause a couple of issues. Monyet goes down. The gates start to open, but the cross is being watched. Forsaken's position is excellent, as is something. Sassy, this is gonna, I mean, this is a tall task. Time is
really good damage.
Tick. Yeah, unconfirmed. And there's still posturing here, and that's it. Mind Freak gonna put the full stop on the end of that sentence. PRX get themselves on the board now.
Feels extremely dicey to be hitting towards this site again. Late round,
yeah.
Zellsis, all he really needs to do is find a little bit of damage, maybe even a wallbang, but slight overcommitment from him. Monyet's the one to punish. Well navigated by PRX nonetheless, who get themselves a couple of ultimates online now. Devi yet to get on the board, but Seeker's here and available. Something, an operator in hand now. He's been deadly this event. Getting up the last few series as well with it.
But that chip damage came in.
Yeah, I was going to say an indicator maybe the PRX are happy to continue slowing things down. It's not with this early presence shown towards B. Despite not committed just yet though.
No, still around. Made its crossover towards the door, so could be again looking to exploit that C site. Seeker's going to come in. Zellsis needs to evacuate the site here. Monyet is commanding all this space.
Yeah,
he's following that Seeker all the way he can. Going to post it. Doesn't get what he wants from it, but he's got them all of this safety! And wait, John QT just got 2 back! Something...
Wait, Tens!
Oh my God, what just happened this round? Drifting alongside each other. But it comes down to 2. Devi and Forsaken with the time on their side. 10 still alive, takes a TP. John QT and Zekken nearby now. Forsaken, dicey way to play, but caught off guard. Tens goes down. Now information free-flowing from the ult. They're going to note it, they're going to see it. Forsaken needs to deliver on it. He can't. Zekken takes him away. Devi. His moment to shine. Can he hold this? Yes, for the first he can. The second, absolutely Devi! Taking PRX with a second now.
Yet to get on the board, but 3 kills on the round to find the Red Bull clutch, Lauren. Beautiful stuff from Divine. One of the biggest criticisms being, you know, the value that PaperX have been unable to find on the back of his utility. Here in the post plant, everything that he needs to convert this round. And Odin on top. Salt in the wounds for Sentinels.
It feels like it's going to be such a volatile matchup between these two. High tempo. But again, looking at PaperX here, still showing a little bit of caution. That pace change that came in after the timeout, once the buy came in, has awarded them 2 good rounds here. The question then becomes, does SEN have an answer? What do they have back to this? And again, the adjustment in place here, Mike, we're seeing 10s back towards that C side.
So PaperX trying to set a paranoia in motion off this spy cam. And actually, when Zekken's checked it, Sassy's the one to find the first, Zekken to follow up. That's a 2 for 2.
To get away!
Wow.
No, Mind Freak, what a shot! Catching Zekken in the heels, yeah. Midway, as he was trying to get out of danger. And this time it's the 2 for Sentinels. Does Devi catch? I don't think he caught him. Oh
no.
My word, Tens has been played in here.
The second time he's in a really awkward spot.
Smoke behind him. He's not noted any player. He's going to hear the door turn. But the question mark of Mind Freak again. That late round positioning. Oh my God, Zelsis. Slides in and finds Mind Freak. You got a 1v2 in you here?
Not available.
Yeah?
Tough in the 1v2 to really guarantee value off that. Something posted up with the operator. You can see on the X-ray here, Devi looking a little curious towards spawn as well. Still got a flash to work with in the hands of Devi.
There it goes. Didn't catch towards CT, so eliminating the options, and maybe Zelsis.
He's thinking now he's doing what, yeah, he wants to play off that.
But it's not like Devi has turned his eyes away from this and the potential of a taste of the own medicine waiting around this corner. Zelsis, you can hear the spam. He wants it back. He's not going to get it. Devi showing him how it's done. And PaperX, they're clawing back into this after what was a near-on flawless start from Sentinels. Crowd wants it.
Yeah, starting to get behind them now. A run of 3 rounds. A really bizarre exchange here, but it's Mind Freak to find 2 on the back of this. Make that a 3rd onto 10s as well.
The fact he stuck around there after that smoke, the dog, the clear, everything, they still considered it. Very heads
really
up.
heads up.
Jinxed.
Of course we've jinxed.
It's going to be a quiet cast. Anyway, back into this one. It looks like maybe a brawl begins now. 10s. Remember, that classic in hand, what he was able to do from here. That first glance back at him on the international stage certainly enamored a lot of us. But for now, no test. PaperX show a little presence, but then peel away.
Something still desperate for this opener. Zekken not going to give anything away, actually. Something wide swings onto the angle. It's Zekken to punish. Opener found here. Just result with 10s posting up a little deeper here. Zekken already hitting preemptive rotation.
Oh, Monieto.
That's a bit down.
He's
got a second.
What a start from him into this one. And a catch for Forsaken on the other side of the map. A whole new team born here for PaperX. They needed a comeback. They needed that resurgence after the start, and they got it. They got it in spades here. Locking down the site. That's a problem for Mind Freak. Got to be cautious now. Just about slips away before Sassy crests the corner. Trying to get involved. Trying to get a little dangerous, but only going to catch one. Leaving Zekken in a world of trouble. Monyet that time. Puts his name up in lights, but it's PaperX at a tied scoreline. 4 apiece.
And this is interesting as well to see PaperX capitalize so quickly. Something falls, you think it's almost a disaster here to lose your duelist in this sort of scenario. Operator as well.
Enemy remaining.
Alex was talking about this, that PaperX's struggle has been capitalizing on these times they can find, really having the confidence to go all in on these sort of plays. Perfect example here. Just at the right time as well to tie things up 4 apiece.
That's just shattered the economy of Sentinels now, forcing them into a timeout. Time for the coach to check back in, see what's going on. What did they adjust? What did they do after that timeout? Total tempo shift, great approach. You saw those small adjustments not quite landing with switching up, you know, where Zelsis may be, where 10s is. PaperX looking lively now.
Benefit, a couple of ultimates coming online here. Good turnout today as well.
Absolutely. Very lively in the crowd. Always good to see the split between the two teams as well. A lot of SEN fans, a lot of PRX fans.
It felt PaperX favoured.
It did, it did.
It did.
Maybe the cameraman's finding them for now. We'll see if it turns around. But genuinely, PaperX winning the hearts and minds of everyone, I think, over the last couple of years. Hard to not enjoy watching them, their story.
I mean, that's it. It's the age-old, right? I still think they're the most entertaining team to watch, but also at the same time, they can be the most frustrating to watch.
Oh, I'm certain.
They can be the most heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah. Well.
Truly that any given Sunday team. Like I said, though, Operator back in hands for something. Bladestorm available, Seekers, the TP for Mindfreak. Plenty of tools at their disposal.
Cover going out.
And again, we're looking for those beginnings. Something drifting quite deep towards this, actually. And remind yourself, note, this Operator could be a prized possession here. Gotta be careful to not give that over. Sheriffs, Ghosts, bits and pieces, a Bucky or two. Oh, to be careful now. And actually, it's only him. He's drawn the entirety of SEN. Now, this round, not the one to be calling the adjustment, really. To be too worried about is when the buy comes back in. That's where you want to look for the adjustment from Sentinels. But for now, it's looking like a very likely round for PaperX here.
So, I mean, Sassy would have been the only one to really contest this. Still over towards B site here. Slowly, the rotation coming through from SEN. I mean, Zekken's one off the showstopper, a chance to really swing this back in their favor, but it's going to take an awful lot in a 4v5. A couple of overcommitments from PaperX. We haven't seen that so far. Something to want to shut down Sassy finally.
His work on the Operator has been divine.
Hold up.
Zekken, though, flies through the air, but how do you get rid of that back line? Oh, you're doing a little bit of damage, but not quite enough to knock him over. Still standing, still breathing. PaperX unaffected, and Forsaken gonna find John QT.
Actually, PaperX now a full house of ultimates. And relying solely on these gunfights, and I'll be honest, getting really into the groove now of the map. Firmly in control. Even on this anti-eco here. Something in a position to create some sort of threat. And a massive gap on the other side of the map. See if Sentinels really have a response to try and shut down this Operator pressure. Previously mentioned, showstopper in hand now for Zekken. Sassy and Zelsa still have their ultimates to play with. Looking for a response here from Sentinels.
And the adjustment looking towards A.
Yeah, and as previously noted early on, it was John QT here really layering Zelsa's utility very well. I mean, no secrets about this. The spam coming through from PaperX. Alarm bot dealt with. Already see this rotation coming through.
Oh, this could be a nice ult, though, coming in. That should catch a fair few. So they try and springboard off this. No, they flex a little towards that B side. Sassy's got to be careful. Monyet just working in the dark. Couldn't see a thing. Gets caught by Zekken. The site, I don't want to call it safe because they can play back to it. Already, lockdown going to come in. This puts PRX under the gun a little now. Going to have to pause. You can already see SEN looking towards where that next flex point for PaperX would be, and it is through that B site. Sassy confirms it. He knows he's close as well. Great work from PaperX. Dismantling. Oh my God. Oh, I thought he got away with that for a second.
Threw his hat at him.
Didn't quite do the damage he wanted, but Mindfreak still hot on the heels. They are playing so slippery, and they've gone back towards A. They've got that spike down. PaperX are taking fights in their spawn. Something gonna slow the roll a little, ease off a touch. The Sassy now has to re-clear if he even wants a chance at this.
Something and Devi resetting now, plenty of utility available. Both Something and Devi actually, yeah. Trailblazer's gonna come out very late on. Something swings onto the angle, and PaperX find their sixth. And this is the sort of round that, I'll be honest, has been lacking. At least the consistency of these sort of rounds. Where there's 5 or 6 different things going on.
Yeah.
And PaperX are just placing question marks everywhere for Sentinels. no tangibles for them to really cling on to. A beautiful shutdown from Mindfreak as well.
Gotta say it, PRX look really on the money today.
Yeah.
Mechanically, I mean, that sounds silly to almost say it, but they look deadly. And to be doing this to the likes of Zekken, who's been having an excellent tournament in my mind, having a really good performance. I mean, John QT as well, outstanding to the every single one of them. They are very solid. But a pace change potentially. Let's see what Monyet does with this. Has an opportunity to play this out, drawing a lot of eyes just towards him. Support is there, but the spike's not committed.
Spot out here. Forsaken nearly catching the spam through onto Zekken here. But have been rewarded time and time again for these sort of punishments. Finding a peak, the push and pull across the map, creating opportunities for them. Coming out, looking to posture a little outside C. I mean, it's drawing Sentinels perfectly. I mean, look at the X-ray here for Forsaken. It's everybody but Tens. This is the sort of thing that happened in the previous. Sentinels just didn't know where to stack. Completely misreading the situation. Well, I guess maybe not even misreading, laying it on pretty thick with the information they are given.
And Tens is noted. The only defender of the site gets found. He falls away. And of course, PRX don't know the level of success they've had. If anything, that could cost them because they're peeling away. Look at the positioning. Look at the
It definitely will. Yeah, with Zelsis drifting up this deep, it definitely is to their detriment now.
They had that A site on the platter and they didn't even know it, but they also don't know about Mon yet. They haven't spotted him yet. The utility didn't reveal him. That time it does, so now the position is given up. Well, should be given up. This man is stubborn in approach. And you can see why. Just punishing Sassy. And Zen looking flat on this retake so far. They need something to set them in motion, and that's it. That's what the doctor ordered. Sentinels taking back some of this site here. Mindfreak didn't get affected, but Tens too quick on the trigger, and Sentinels starting to deliver. Gonna get themselves up towards 5 here, finding some answers. But we saw that tragedy almost in motion, Mike. That site was ready for the taking. And PRX didn't even know it.
And it's only spotting Tens, which I guess they're identifying either Zelsis or John QT as the site anchors, but time and time again, we've seen them buddied up. It's them really stacking utility together. So the fact that they identify Tens here with Mindfreak's TP, so they're almost victims of their own success, forcing everybody over towards C on the side of Sen, trying to catch a timing onto B, and like I said, Zelsis really going to be the threat in the backlines there. He can confirm they haven't rotated all the way back through spawn.
And it's just, it feels like a different game every single round. You don't know quite what you're going to get here, but early intent going to be noted from something. Slipping a little further ahead, but a second to check on him. Catching him, just slipping through towards door. Good trade though, Monyet going to punish Tens. Does Zekken get to keep his life? He does this time. There's still 2 on the site. And a 1-for-1 trade at the very start.
Sen switching things up and really digging their heels in now outside rubble. Contesting this space now, slowing PRX's early round. New map here though. Zekken's actually repositioned in towards 3, not been there previously. The possibility actually of comboing up here with Sassy. John QT elsewhere has found one. Zekken to find Mindfreak as well. Sentinels looking to tie things up for the half here, Lauren.
Yeah, looking rather likely. Devi, Monyet, at least they're going to get a heal, right? So it's him back towards fighting form. Still got the pain shell. Still got some bits and pieces to work with. Can he get played in? Sentinels thinking better of sticking around the site. Why let him hit that play? Why give him a chance? Respecting PRX. Gonna maybe work back in
30
through
seconds
stairs. Do they catch the timing on this? Does the spike get planted safely? Monyet is trying to keep this plant safe. No response from CT. And then the shots, that's enough. That's raised the alarm bell. They swing back in, Devi's gone down. It's Monyet to try and do the impossible. 13 seconds, and the dream not gonna come true this time. Sen tying up the score, 6 apiece.
Switching sides.
I mean, almost a little strange to say, but beautiful recovery there from Sentinels to get the last 2 on the board. 6 in a row for PRX. We talk about the early timeouts, but this is another example where really able to adjust perfectly. Actually, that's...
We both wanted to see the best from both sides being shown here. High quality action on just the first half. I think Sideshow has something for us.
It may not have looked like it, but that was a pretty successful defense half by the numbers from Sentinels. And I want to walk you back to the bonus round to try to show you how it all got started. So as you can see, bonus, low weaponry happening here. And we take a look at what the game plan is. Nobody's heard anything around rubble, so they tap this out. There's only two options here. When you don't hear anything rubble, it means it's a trap play, or it means that they're playing passive. They tap the door, it's certainly not a trap, otherwise that would have been baited. And I want to pause here, just as we get to the second door opening, and highlight the Killjoy utility. This KJ utility, not in a common spot. It's not to stop them getting into tree, it's to segment off something from the rest of the squad. So as we play this out, you'll see what the game plan is. John Cutie comes over for the fast rotate, and they know that this jet composition likes to prime dash and get into the site to break crossfires here. Zelsis is not trying to fight it. They pop Nano Swarm. There's a snake bite. Look at the timing. I want to show you that again. Look at the timing of this double swing to punish something, and the other duelist coming in at the same time. It could not have been more perfect to shut down something and Monya to open things up. Good ante, got them started with a 4-0 lead, and with a slight recovery towards the end of that, this is now Sentinels in a good spot at a 6-6 half on an attack-sided map. So they've managed to do the work, they've put in, and despite all of the best efforts of PRX, they've found themselves in a decent spot. So we'll see how the attack side goes. I'll send things back over to Pansy and iPod.
Yeah, thank you so much for that little reminder of how good some of these rounds have been. You know, very much early in the series, it feels like this entire match so far feels you could segment it in different ways and take totally different things away from it. So many ebbs and flows to this series already, and we've only had one half in a best of 5. We're in for a treat here. Let's get back into the action. Is it enough? 6-6. Can PRX hold on to this scoreline? Or is this enough for Sentinels to close in now further on map 1?
You even see a little bit of aggression here from something. Yeah, alongside Mind Freak. Sniffed out pretty quickly, though, by Sassy. And that'll be the whole of Sentinels on red alert now. As I say that, Spike already drifting back over towards rubble, and already 3 members of Sentinels ahead of this. Beautiful time for Sentinels to really find contact on Mound and allow a little bit of time here. Forsaken got to tread carefully here.
Yeah, he's on a platter, and I love that little information, that fact finder, just tapping the orb over there, drawing out that little trap plate. And the instant response,
quick, though,
they have responded very quickly. There's 3 on CT, make it 4. They are going to go back in on this, so they want a brawl. They might just get one. Sent on the other side, going to eat the paranoia, though. They're in trouble. Here's that battle. 1-for-1 trade so far. Flash going to set it in motion. They swing it around the site. Something goes down, but Mind Freak succeeds. They're down to just 1 now. Mind Freak, that's 3. Needs another. They're both low. 21 HP. Oh, he's got him. Mind Freak. 5 seconds and gets PRX there first on the second half here, claiming the pistol, but that was just brutal between the two.
No hesitation whatsoever from PRX. Like I said, it was the perfect time for Sentinels to catch some level of contact over towards Mount.
Beautiful work from Mind Freak.
But the fact that everyone's on the same page, Lauren, the call is made, and they're even here ahead of Sentinels finding the plant.